Have you ever been a little bit jealous when watching some anime MC get a ridiculous glow up that you wanted? Well, you're about to be with the anime we have on this list today. They went from getting bullied and avoided to looking so good and powerful that their bullies started simping for them. The first zero to hero that we have on the list is Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling. Imagine being so weak that even the lowest ranked monsters feel sorry for attacking you. That was Sung Jin-woo at the start of Solo Leveling. In a world full of powerful hunters, Jin-woo was known as the weakest hunter of all mankind. We're talking about E rank, kind of rank where even a strong breeze might win the fight. But everything changes after a mysterious double dungeon incident that nearly kills him, grants him a mysterious power, something no other hunter has, and that is a system that lets him level up like a video game character. The skinny, exhausted guy who looked like he didn't sleep in 3 years suddenly started training, leveling up, and evolving into Giga Chad's older brother, and that is handsome Squidward. Just kidding. Jin-woo builds an impressive physique, his confidence skyrockets, and his cool hunter aura starts making everyone nervous. So remember, Jin-woo didn't just level up his power, he leveled up his entire existence. But Jin-woo isn't the only anime character with a glow up so insane that it needs to be studied, because the next guy took the phrase survive and adapt a little too seriously, and he is Hajime Nagumo from Arifuta, commonplace to World's Strongest. Getting summoned to another world with your entire class only to be voted most likely to die first. That's basically Hajime, as he is just a regular guy with the most unimpressive power imaginable. While his classmates get flashy combat abilities, he is stuck making rocks slightly into different shapes. Not exactly hero material. And then things get much worse. During a dungeon raid, he gets betrayed by one of his classmates, falls into the deepest part of the abyss. At this point, the enemy basically says, "Aight, time for the character development, bitch." To survive, Hajime does the unthinkable. He starts eating monsters. Yes, actual monsters. Apparently, the secret to a legendary glow-up is a very questionable diet plan. Slowly, his weak body becomes powerful, his hair turns white, he loses an eye, replaces his arm with a mechanical one, and his personality upgrades from Mr. Nice Guy to Alonzo Harris from Training Day.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
And when he finally climbs out of the abyss, his whole class could not recognize him and was shocked to realize he is the same guy they left in the dungeon. But Hajime's transformation still isn't the most terrifying one on this list, because the next character didn't just glow up physically, his entire personality evolved to something the whole world fears. I'm talking about Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, a loud, angry kid who screams about revenge every 5 minutes, somehow turns into one of the most intimidating characters in anime. At the start, Eren is basically pure rage in human form. After witnessing his mother get eaten by a titan, he swears to destroy every titan in existence. The only problem is that he's just a kid with big dreams and zero titan fighting experience. But once he joins the scout regiment, everything changes. Eren discovers he has the power to transform into a titan himself, and from there the story keeps escalating, bigger battles, darker secrets, and more pressure on Eren than any teenager should realistically deal with. And then comes the time skip. Suddenly, the same screaming kid shows up with long hair, sharp eyes, and the energy of someone who hasn't smiled in 3 years. Even his friends could not recognize him, shocked to see how much he has changed. What makes this glow-up legendary isn't just a new look, it's the transformation of his mindset. The story goes from a simple fight against monsters to a complex war about freedom, morality, and the cost of power. Eren didn't just grow up, he went from angry kid shouting at titans, someone the entire world is afraid of. But not every glow-up starts with monsters or world-ending wars. Sometimes all it takes is childhood humiliation and a revenge plan that lasts for years. And that's exactly what happened to Masume Makabe from Masume-kun's Revenge, who literally redesigned his entire life just to prove a point. After getting rejected so badly as a kid that you decide your life goal is revenge, but make it stylish. When Masumune was young, he was overweight and constantly bullied. The worst part is, the girl he liked, Aki Adagaki, rejected him and nicknamed him Piggy.
Emotional, damn it!
But instead of crying forever, Masumune decides to do something about it. He trains, works hard, completely changes his lifestyle, and years later returns as an extremely handsome, confident guy. The glow up is so dramatic that nobody from his past even recognizes him. But things don't go exactly as planned. The more time Masumune spends around Aki and the people at school, the more complicated his revenge plot becomes. Suddenly, feelings, secrets, and misunderstanding start getting in the way of his perfect plan. And let's be honest, planning emotional revenge while trying to look cool 24/7 is a lot harder than it sounds. So if you like anime with romance, comedy, and one of the most revenge-fueled glow-ups in anime, Masamune-kun's Revenge is definitely worth checking out. Masamune transformed himself for revenge, but what if your glow-up happened overnight? That's exactly what happens to Daniel Park in Lookism. Going to sleep as the most bullied kid in school and waking up looking like a K-pop idol. That's basically the life of Daniel Park from Lookism. At the start, Daniel is constantly bullied because of his appearance. He's overweight, insecure, and life at school is basically a daily survival challenge, the kind where even walking down the hallway feels like entering a boss fight.
You dare challenge me?
But one night, something impossible happens. Daniel wakes up in a completely different body, tall, athletic, and handsome. The glow-up is so dramatic that if glow-ups were a sport, Daniel would already have a world championship. Now he has two bodies, his original one and this new perfect looking one. When one sleeps, the other wakes up, and suddenly the world treats him very different. People who ignored him before now wants to be his friend. Opportunities start appearing everywhere. But at the same time, Daniel begins to realize something deeper about society, how much people judge others purely based on looks. So while the anime has plenty of funny moments, fights, and school drama, it also asks a serious question. How differently would life be if people saw you differently? Because Daniel didn't just get a glow up, he got a second chance to understand the world from two completely different perspectives. But the final glow up on this list might actually be the most unfair one, because this guy didn't just level up in another world, he brought the upgrades back with him. And that's exactly what happens to Yuya Tenjo in I Got a Cheat Skill in Another World and Became Unrivaled in the Real World too. Being bullied his whole life, called ugly, weak, worthless, a guy so beaten down by the world that even his own family treated him like he didn't belong. Everything changes the day he discovers a mysterious door leading to another world. In that world, Yuya gains insane power, legendary weapons, and abilities beyond human limits. And when he returns to the real world, the bullied loser is gone. In his place stands someone stronger, confident, and unstoppable. And those were some animes where the main character's glow up was so insane, probably gave their bullies some regret. But now I'm curious, which anime glow up do you think was the most legendary? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe for more anime recommendation.